If you really pay attention, you will realize that men tell on themselves all the time. This is how I found out I was getting cheated on. I was in a long distance relationship with this guy who was my boyfriend at the time, definitely an ex now. And we planned to go on a cruise together, so we flew out separately from our cities. But he wound up missing his flight because he bleached his hair to a crisp, like it was breaking off. Luckily, he made his flight the next day and we were able to board our cruise. The cruise was so much fun. I was so sad when the cruise was over, but of course, all good things come to an end, and we had to get back to reality and fly back home to our respective states. I spent my entire flight looking through all of our pictures we took together, and I was just really sad to be going home without him. As we were descending, I got a shitload of texts from him, and I instantly knew that something was off. He was basically freaking out, saying that some crazy girl was going to DM me and make all these claims, but none of them are true. And at this point, Instagram was that girl, and I was getting hundreds of messages a day. My Wi-Fi kept on cutting in and out while I was searching for this DM, but I finally found it. The girl was basically saying that she had been seeing my ex and that they were just together, and as a matter of fact, he asked her to pick him up from the airport that evening. She said that she turned him down because she found out about me and that he had a girlfriend. But I was really skeptical of her claims because my ex had a tendency to post everything like as he was doing it, so everybody knew his business. Of course, I DM'd her back asking for proof, and she sent me screenshots and a bunch of other things, but of course I was still in denial because I really wanted to believe my man over a stranger. My ex was so embarrassed that he fried his hair. That was the one thing that he did not put on social media. Like, he didn't want anybody to know. So when she mentioned that she was with him the day he missed his flight, helping him with his hair and putting coconut oil in it, I knew that she was telling the truth. This man came in the morning of our cruise reeking like coconut oil, and I even asked him, like, how do you know about coconut oil? And he was like, oh, my barber told me to use it. And I swear to you, I would have never seen that DM if he did not tell me about it. He was trying to get ahead of the game, but instead he played himself in the worst way possible. But there is so much more to the story, so let me know if you want a part 2. Moral of the story is, when men tell on themselves, believe them the first time.
Okay, story time of how my ex-boyfriend of the year was cheating on me the entire time and I had no idea. A little backstory, I'm gonna call him Henry. I dated this guy named Henry for a year, and then after I broke up with him, I got back together with my ex-boyfriend, who is now my ex-boyfriend again. I wanted to tell TikTok this story for a long time, but I kind of felt weird like talking about an ex-boyfriend while I was dating someone new, so I never did, but now I don't have to worry about that. So basically, Henry was perfect on paper. Like, my friends loved him, my family loved him, he was very good at communicating, he was a gentleman, like, never had to open a single car door, didn't fight that much, we had a lot of trust in each other, whatever. Probably like 11 months into our relationship, he goes to Idaho and visits his parents because they just moved there. He goes to the bar by himself because he's bored, and at first I was like, okay, that's kind of weird, but he was like, I'm just getting a beer and like talking to my friend on FaceTime, and he was like, I'm just bored. I'm like, okay, whatever. And so he ends up meeting this guy at the bar who was also there alone. I'm like, can you all go on a hike or something? Why are we only going to the bar when we're bored? Like, shit. But anyways, he meets this guy who's also alone. They end up hanging out, getting a drink, whatever. He leaves. The same guy invites him back out the next night. He goes back out the next night. Again, I had so much trust in him. I really never would have thought he would cheat on me. But he meets another like apprentice lineman in Idaho. And so they're hanging out. Look, I had a bad feeling about this because Henry kept sending me videos of the other apprentice lineman full on dancing with hella woman. And so I was like, okay, so what do you do? And he's like not answering me very fast. So I'm like, obviously you're not just sitting in the corner. I already had a bad feeling about this. They don't leave the bar until 2 in the morning. I'm like, are you going home? He's like, we're gonna go get food. Obviously everything's closed. It's like 2:30 in the morning. So he's like, okay, we're just gonna go back to his apartment. And by like 3:30, I'm like, really, like, I don't get bad feelings about stuff. I was texting him like, can you please go home? I had such bad feeling about tonight. I don't know why. I cannot fall asleep. It's 3:30 in the morning. Please, can you just go home now? It's Mother's Day tomorrow, by the way. It's Mother's Day the next day. It's 3:30 in the morning. He's like, yes, babe, I love you. I'm gonna go home in 5 minutes. I'm just gonna say goodbye. Period. I'm able to fall asleep now, thinking he's going home. He He didn't go home. The roommates invited girls over. The next morning I call him thinking he went home. He was sounding off. So I started going at him like, what did you do last night? You're acting so weird, like blah, blah. He starts bawling his eyes out. He's like, I didn't leave. I got like blacked out drunk. The roommates invited girls over and I'm like, okay, what did you do? What did you do? Like literally going off. He's like, I kissed a girl, but like I promise you, right when I kissed her, I backed off. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm drunk. I have a girlfriend. I can't do this. Like I love her, blah, blah. He was going on and on and on and on. And I didn't talk to him for like 2 days because obviously I was hurt. Like you just kissed another girl. But like a lot of my friends and family who I told about this, they were all like, he literally loves you so much. Like he's so good to you. He's so young. He made a mistake. He was drunk. He pulled away right away. Like his parents were telling me this too. They're all like, you should give him another chance. So I do. Not even a week later, I'm not even kidding, he's like, I would never do this to you again. I promise you can trust me. I love you so much. I was just such a poor judge. Like whatever. A week later, he goes to Idaho for his sister's fiance's bachelor trip. The entire time he's in Texas on the bachelor trip, he's texting me like, I love you so much. I promise you can trust me. Like literally nothing else. Because obviously I'm not feeling the best. He just cheated on me a week before and now he's going to Texas and going to bars every single night. So the entire time he's texting me, reassuring me, whatever. I pick him up from the airport. He's acting like everything's perfectly fine with us and all this stuff. Wrong. Not perfectly fine. Next day I get a hey girly text. Is your boyfriend Henry? I'm like, oh, yes, it is. It is, actually. So basically, they start talking because she's standing in line getting a drink by herself and he goes up to her and it's like, you're too beautiful to be like standing in line alone. Like, come wait with me or something. I'll buy you a drink. And so they're hanging out, talking, whatever. She ends up leaving the bar because her friend needs help. He texts her and be like, when you're ready to have a good time, come back with a winking emoji. That's disgusting. And she's sending me screenshots. He's like, I want to fly you back to Seattle when I get home. Like, asking her what her morals are, sending her Bible verses, all of this stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, he's a man of God. Such a man of God. So yeah, when I find everything out, I send him all the screenshots of everything. I say, Q, I never want to hear anything from you again or ever speak to you ever again. Sent him everything, blocked him on everything besides text message because I needed all of my stuff back. Dropped all my stuff off. I wasn't here. I didn't want to see him. I had all of his stuff waiting at the door and he texted me, hey, all your stuff is back. So yeah, after he dropped all of my stuff off, sending me so many Bible verses, all of these like beautiful text messages, whatever. I'm like, are you actually effing delusional? Genuinely, are you delusional? Never, like, and I didn't even answer. I blocked him while he was still typing. I don't want to hear from him. Come to find out, this man would preach that he hated social media, and we are kind of not long distance, but like medium distance. He lived in Arlington for work in like federal areas, so it was like an hour, 2 hours away. So he would only come here on the weekends. He hated social media. Come to find out, every single time he would leave my house, he would just re-download Instagram and then go on to his other secret Snapchat account. And that's where he was texting so many girls, like all of this stuff. I don't even know. I found out that for the first full month of us dating, he was trying to convince another girl to date her. He was like hooking up with her, all of this stuff. I'm like, what would you even done if she said yes to dating you? She didn't want to do that because she just got out of a long-term relationship. But like, would you just been like, okay, bye, Katie. I don't want to date you anymore. I found someone better than you. Are you delusional? Oh my gosh. So yeah, luckily I haven't seen or heard of anything of him since because he's blocked on everything. I don't care about ever talking to him again. I have no respect for him. And yeah, I just wish him the best with his Bible verses. But yeah, so that's the story time of how my boyfriend of the year was cheating on me literally the entire time of this dating, and I had no idea. So be careful, y'all. We really can't trust no one.
Story time on how our best friend got with both of our boyfriends in
one night.
Okay, so we were all getting ready for a party, like me, her, and this girl, let's call her Melissa, and our boyfriends.
Melissa was being like really touchy with both of our boyfriends the whole time, like, and we were like,
so the Uber was like an XL, and she literally pushed both me and her to the back seats, like the ones that you have to like pop up in the trunk, and then she sat in the middle of our boyfriends.
Yep.
Then we get to the party and it was like really fun until one of our other really good friends like got really sick and she was like in the bathroom like the whole time, so we were like low-key like taking care of her, and we started thinking like, wait, like where is Melissa?
But we didn't really think much about it until our friend came in and told us something really crazy.
She told us that her boyfriend was getting with Melissa in the basement bedroom.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, she's pissed. I'm mad too. At this point, her boyfriend had already ordered an Uber for us to, like, all go back to my house. So we were like, okay, like, free Uber, we're still gonna get in it. So he came too, which was, like, so dumb. Like, what are you doing? So then we get back to my house, and it's all 5 of us.
Yeah.
And she's, like, yelling at her boyfriend.
I was, like, crying. And
I was, like, trying to, like, be the middleman, like, trying to help a little bit, like, calm her down a little bit. Because it's just, like, we're all, like, and then, you know, that's happening. And then I'm like, wait, where's Melissa and my man? Like, what's going on? And we, like, search the whole house for them. And guess where we find them? In my bed.
her own bed, bro.
And Melissa's literally, like, on top of him. I drag her ass out of there. I'm like, I'm never talking to you again. Like, you crazy ass bitch. I kick all 3 of them out. Her boyfriend, my boyfriend, and Melissa. I didn't talk to Melissa for a few days, but she texted us yesterday, and she was like, guys, I'm, like, so sorry. Like, I would never do that again. Like, I'm coming right now to the beach, because we're at my beach house. And I'm like, we're going to work this out, blah, blah, blah.
Because she was supposed to come to the beach with us, and we were like, don't come back.
No, you're not coming now. And knowing Melissa, she is the type to, like, come. Like, she's definitely coming.
Yeah.
I checked her snap map, and she's, like, 30 minutes away. So that's low-key, like, what we're getting ready for right now. So I'm gonna beat that bitch up. If you guys an update if you want one.
We also broke up with our boyfriends because, obviously.
Like, after that, we're living the single life. Like, that is...
And she's probably texting them.
So, yeah. Let us know if you want an update. She's literally 10 minutes away.
I snitched on one of my closest friends for cheating on her fiance. Story time. I had a coworker who became one of my closest friends, and she was way younger than me. She was engaged to a very good man. He was not as attractive as her. She was beautiful, but that didn't take away from what a good man he was. The closer I got to her, the more I started to, find out the more and more stuff that she was doing. And, I'm not the girl's mom. I was her friend. And I would tell her, like, hey, you shouldn't do that. Like, you're engaged. And she would tell me things like, I want to live before I get married. I've never done things before. I just want to, explore a little. So the more and more I worked with her, the more and more she was doing. And I felt horrible knowing things, right? I didn't know her fiance. Like, we weren't friends, but I did meet him a couple of times. But because I knew that he was such a good guy and he treated her like a princess, okay? Like, I just felt really bad. So one day out of nowhere, I get a DM and it's from him. And he simply asked me, hey, is so-and-so cheating on me? And part of me wanted to tell him, like, the whole truth, because even though she was my friend, I knew that she did not deserve that man. Like, that man did not deserve what she was doing to him. But all I told them was, if you're asking me, I think you already know the answer. Shortly after that, they called off the engagement. They broke up, and she never spoke to me again. We never even talked about it. We never tried addressing it because I think we both knew that it was just awkward. And I don't know. At times I felt bad about it, but they're both happily married now. And if he would have never asked me, I probably would have never told them anything. But the fact that he asked me, and I still didn't tell him anything. I just said, like, if you're asking me, I think right? Which is kind of telling. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person he asked, and he probably got more information, and that's why, he called it off. But yeah. So am I a snitch? And would you snitch? Also, has this ever happened to you? Has someone told on you? Or have you had to ask, your partner's friends what they're doing and found out that they were cheating? Let me know. Share your stories and comment.
My ex-best friend of 14 years became my son's stepmother. Not saying any names. Y'all could piece it together. I don't really give a fuck. I'm just interested in telling the story. I could care less about it being exposed since it already kind of was exposed. So, yeah. I met this girl around 5th, 6th grade when I would visit my dad. He lived in the town that she lived in, and she lived right around the corner from him. We were super close. We played outside together all the time. We kind of grew up from playing outside to drinking our first drink, to smoking our first blunt, to having our first kiss, to going to our first club. You know, all the little child to adolescent, teenage milestones into adulthood. She was close with my family. I was cool with hers. It was very known that we were very close. Everybody knew it. It wasn't a secret. It wasn't like we were fair weather friends. We were extremely close. Even in school, like, she was fighting with somebody, I'm ready to fight with her. If somebody messing with her, I'm taking them down. We went through a lot of shit together, as far as like shit she went through with men, shit I went through with men, like, you know, just the whole shebang. Anything like lifelong best friends would go through. When she became 19, she became pregnant with twins, and she had 2 twins, boys, and it was beautiful, even though she was young and she was kind of ruining her life because she claims that the child's father was immature, which I'm sure he was, and I'm sure what she was saying at the time was very accurate. And you know, I had her back. She got pregnant. She had to like leave college, and she was ready to raise her kids. Now, mind you, she still lived at home with mom. There was a small period of time where I don't think we fell apart necessarily. I think I was going through like a really horrible relationship, and she was trying, like, with my other friend to help me. And I got through that, obviously, and we remained cool. We still remained friends. This was somebody who was going to be a bridesmaid in my wedding. When I had my first child, I went through a lot with my son's father, and she would be right there with me, coaching me on how to put him on child support, coaching me on how to handle him, because she was very well versed in that. She did have, I believe she had kids like shortly before me. I was pregnant, sorry. I remember I was pregnant at her baby shower. So we were kind of pregnant at the same time, but she had them first. I had them after. So she was like talking mad shit about my baby daddy's family. I was showing her what I was going through. I wasn't just telling her, like, she was seeing with her own eyes that, like, you know, I was struggling. He was a non-provider. He was a cheater, a liar. His family was weird. You know, she was seeing this. It wasn't like she was just a fair weather friend on the internet and like just hearing. She was watching it in real time. She was helping me, you know, file things. She was sitting in, you know, my family's backyard all the time with her. Our kids would play together. My family would include her on family holidays, Christmas. My grandmother would buy her kids little gifts when it was like gatherings. Like, it was like that. We were so close. Like, she would call my grandma. She called my grandma because she was looking for an apartment. She was, you know what I'm saying? She had communication with my family outside of me. So with that all being said, you can tell that we were very close. Like, she knew that, you know, my baby daddy did me dirty. That he, especially while I was pregnant, she knew all like the nitty gritty details. She knew that he was like not a provider and not really taking care of his responsibilities as a dad. She knew all this. She's seen it. She witnessed it. She was helping me fight it. Fast forward, I got pregnant with my second child. I was in another relationship by then. You know, I had been left my baby daddy, and I was pregnant with my second child. And we were still close. Like, we would still talk even up. We would still talk to the point where we were having conversation about planning my gender reveal for my second child. So she had gotten pregnant again with her third child, still living under her mother's roof with the same baby daddy that she claimed abused her, wasn't a provider, was a piece of shit. She told me that she actually planned this third child, that they planned the third child after she bashed her baby daddy. Cool. No judgment here. You know what I'm saying? But I did tell her, like, girl, like, you don't have to do this. Like, you can't even sustain yourself. Like, you literally live in your mom's roof. Like, your mom's not livid right now. But she decided to keep the baby, and listen, babies are a blessing. So now this girl has 3 kids in her mom's roof, and I'm kind of like, damn, bitch, like, you know, it's time to get your life together because this ain't it. But I don't say anything to anybody. I keep my thoughts to myself because she's already pregnant. What the fuck? I'm gonna make her feel bad? Like, no, it's my friend. I'm not saying nothing. So as we're talking about my gender reveal, the conversation kind of died out, and I'm pretty sure she got busy. She has a newborn. a newborn. Newborn, I believe, is from the month of like born to like 3 months, I would say. So the baby was still a newborn phase. She messages me out of the blue and says, I need to tell you something. I don't remember like the specific wording, but that. She goes, me and so are going to pursue a relationship. I just wanted to tell you. That so was my baby father. The same baby father that fucked me over, doesn't handle his responsibilities as a father, $4,000 back in child support, crazy family, crazy situation, my best friend getting in a relationship with a newborn. So I sat there for a minute because I swear I thought she was joking. I mean, girl, you just had a baby, a third one, living in your mom's house. That means you were just having sex with your baby daddy. You were just with your baby daddy. What am I missing? So I tell my boyfriend at the time, like, yo, like, this bitch playing. Because there's no way. Like, there's no way that made sense. Like, girl, you doing too much. Like, you're funny. No. She was dead ass. And I never heard from her again after that, by the way. So I'm like confused because I'm like, where is this coming from? How long? You just had a baby. You were just still having sex with your baby daddy, like very recently. Like I'm talking about after the baby was born. When did you have time to, after just having a baby and just being with your baby daddy, date mine? Also, why would you ever want to date somebody who had a child with your best friend? Hello? And me crashing out had nothing to do with the man. Like, I did send her a message and it just had nothing to do with the man. Like, I moved on already. I was already in another relationship, having another baby. It's the principle of, you're my friend. What are you doing? Hello? Are you okay? Are you, like, is this a joke? Like, where's Ashton Kutcher? So I call my baby daddy and I'm like, you know why I'm calling you, right? And he's like, why? And I go, well, I got a message from my best friend saying this. Is this what's going on? And he goes, yeah. And I'm like, and that makes sense to you? And he's like, well, and I'm like, so if your guy best friend decided to start having a relationship with me, that would make sense. He goes, well, if that happened to me, I wouldn't be friends with that person. So it's not a red flag to you that your baby mama's best friend wants to be with you and you don't see that as a red flag as a person. Like fuck what she did to me or how it affected me in her relationship. You don't see her as being a grimy person in general. If you're saying you wouldn't be friends with somebody that does that, then what makes you want to date somebody who does that? But I digress because, okay, that's what y'all choose. Whatever. Y'all are both weird as fuck. And this whole situation is weird. Everything he ever said about me negative, that made me a horrible person and a horrible mother, which never been me. But he was so bitter that he curated this whole narrative of me when, whatever. Everything he ever said about me that was negative applies to her, like in her behavior, but yet it's excusable for her to do it and for her to be like that. But when I did it, I was a bad mom. I was hurt. I was fucking hurt and confused, and I was pregnant, so obviously my hormones. So my baby daddy's sister-in-law, which also happens to be one of my old best friends who started dating and ended up marrying his twin brother, but we're gonna clock that tea another time. She told me that it was my hormones making me act that way, that I shouldn't overreact. And oh, girl, what? You see how I'm constantly gaslit? Like, I can't make this shit up. Go to part 2. It gets juicier. My ex-best friend of 14 years became my son's stepmother. Part 2. So the sister-in-law's on the phone with me. She is making me seem like I am nuts. Like this is not abnormal. Like, she made a comment that it's like, oh, you can't, people can't control like who they like you can't control what people do. I can absolutely control not falling in love and fucking with my friends, exes, baby daddies. Definitely have control over that. That was definitely a choice. But she gaslit me so hard, made it seem like, oh, like you're just hormonal. Girl, even if I didn't have a baby, this would be like, this is just not normal. Like, I asked her, I asked sister-in-law, like, if your best friend did this to you, oh, I would be her. What is wrong with you people? Like, am I crazy? Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm seeing stuff that other people aren't seeing. So I hang up the phone with her because she was just, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I couldn't believe that everybody was making me the crazy one, that this just came out. So I left that alone with her because I wasn't trying to curse her out. Like, real talk, I wasn't trying to curse her out. And I was already going through a lot of shit when I was pregnant. So it wasn't giving. So I definitely sent my ex-best friend a few paragraphs, and of course she ignored them because she's scary and can't, face the shit that she does. And so of course I called one of my other friends because I was whatever. And you know what everybody that talked to me about this says? You're surprised? Yeah, what do you mean? Of course I'm surprised. What? Like, this is not left field? And everybody that I talked to from our school said, the fact that you're surprised and you didn't see that obviously she would have done this to you, she's been grimy. How do you not see that? Do you guys not see a pattern in how I am constantly allowing grimy people in my life and not seeing, like, having no discernment, no judgment, like, not seeing it? Now you can see, like, I was not picking friends right, obviously. Like, I was not doing well at that. So then people started pointing out, like, all the fucked up shit she would do. And I'm like, well, yeah, like, I'm starting to really think about it. Like, well, damn, yeah, that's fucked up. Or, yeah, and people started coming forward with their stories and their experience with her. And I'm like, now to think of it, like, yeah, that didn't make sense. Like, yeah, Like, yeah. Like, then you start realizing, like, holy shit, bitch been, like, a grimy bitch. And then I started to realize, like, oh my God, like, how did I not see it? You know what's even crazier? The 4th of July prior, my baby daddy and I were maybe possibly working on reconciling. That shit lasted a week because I realized he was still, like, an immature non-provider. But we went, while she was pregnant with her 3rd child, we went together to her 4th of July barbecue. And she was with her baby daddy, and I was with mine. And now everybody's making me think, how long was this going on? Apparently, it was going on, like, while she was pregnant. That's allegedly. So now I feel betrayed. I feel I'm raging. I'm pregnant. I'm pissed. So I'm on the phone with my other friends, and they're like, oh, like, none of us are surprised. Like, the whole anybody I went to high school with, they had stories for, like, all the grimy shit she's done to them. They're like, she's been doing this shit. Then her baby daddy was pissed because what she started to do was, immediately when she started dating my baby daddy exclusively, making him the dad. She made her kids call my baby daddy dad, and called their biological father, like, that's not their dad. Like, she would tell them, that's not your father, like, this man is. And he became her kid's dad, like, very quickly. And then it came out that she was actually pregnant. So she had a baby, a newborn, and then now she's pregnant with my son's father. Everything moved so fast, and all I kept thinking was, I wonder how his family feels about this, because for such a Christian, godly family, there's no way, at least I had faith in his mother. I did. I had faith in his mother, and I would tell my family, because my family's like, oh, I knew his family was trash. No, I was like, no, I'm pretty sure his mom is definitely telling him about himself. No, they all definitely were oddly really liking this girl for a lot. And it's so funny because all the things they condemn me for, she does the same exact things. That's when I learned, like, people just it's just because it's you. just because it's you. And I was so shocked his family was co-signing this, that the pastor and the bishop, they were heavily involved in church, that the pastor and the bishop were co-signing this and were eating this up, but like the pastor bishop had a problem with me. And I was like so confused. First of all, as a mother, when I look at that situation, if that was my son, I would be like, you know what? I support you. Like, you know, you make your own decisions, but to me, that doesn't sit right. Why would your baby mama's best friend want to date you? That's grimy. Like, I wouldn't trust a bitch like that. I would tell my son that because I would keep it real. Then all of a sudden, she found Jesus. She started going to their weird ass church, like being like a Bible thumper, posting Bible quotes. I swear that the horrible person to Christian Bible thumper timeline needs to be studied by psychologists, because what is even that? So then I just had to eat it. And it fucking pissed me off that you're willing to lose a friend. Me and her have never had beef, never had problems. I've always had her back. You're willing to lose a friend for a man who can't even take care of his one child. What makes you think he's going to take care of your 3? So I'm thinking, like, that's so weird. Like, he's back in arrears, $4,000, the same thing she condemns her baby daddy for, because she had him on child support at one point before they got back together and had a 3rd child. He's not taking care of his responsibilities. He's not a provider. Everything that you're bashing your baby daddy for, why do you want my deadbeat baby daddy? Why do you want my broke baby daddy? I'm not understanding. And people were like, she wanted your life. And I'm like, why would you want my life? My life with him sucked. He's a fucking loser. He's a fucking pathological liar. He's a cheater. He's a bum. He's dirty. Like, the fuck? My life was ass with him. I didn't have a good life with him. What gave? She saw everything I went through. What gave I had a good life with him? What does she think? He's gonna get with her and become this mega millionaire and become this great father and this great man? Girl. Now, mind you, a lot happened in between. A lot happened after that. Like, a lot of crazy shit happened. But I want to save that series of events for another story time, because it's more serious story time. But just know that after they got together and all this stuff happened, she started helping him and his family come after me. She started testifying in court against me for him. She started making up shit and lying. Like, she started actually becoming my enemy, which she already was. I mean, no real friend would do what she did. But yeah, she started going, like, she started helping them attack me and come after me. They lost, and the court called her out for lying, and him. She didn't get away with it. But she deadass became my op over a man who can't give her nothing. And that was in 2022. It's 2025. So she has 3 kids. They had the 4th one. So now they have 4 kids still living in her mother's house. He has not put a roof over their head. He has not done anything substantial to provide for her. He actually owes me $11,000 that's on his arrears. He can barely pay his full child support. My son asked him for $10. He said he couldn't give it. He coaches her son's wrestling team. Never been involved. He doesn't even know our son's teacher's name. Now, I'm going to get to the real fucking crazy story. Get ready.